right, happy Thursday, everybody. So we had a little bit of a technical difficulties. Was not allowing the multi-stream to pop up. So I hope you guys had yourself a great Wednesday. I did. It wasn't too bad, and I had a great day today as well too. So I'm going to be getting back to work on this. Kind of got everything. I had everything laid out, and I got everything jumbled up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get back to just working on our character art piece, and we will save the art request piece for another day, being I kind of had everything kind of laid out and then had to put it all aside because they were wanting to do they had an art request to have an art piece done with something with Paris. How you doing, Brian? How you doing today, brother? And they wanted to have characters from My Hero Academia in it. So I was going to do an art style of My Hero Academia in there and have it sort of like they're touring Paris. But I had all my references and everything laid out, and then I had this, it wouldn't load up, kept going in the erroring, so I had to check all this stuff on it. Pretty good. How about you? Sounds interesting. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, had a little tiny little blip on this. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get going on the on this color pencil stuff here and get caught up because we're about 20 minutes behind what we would do. So let me hit the live stream. We'll grab my glove and we'll get some more work done on this. See if we can get him blended and put in. Let me kind of recollect where everything's at. There we go. Grab my scratch paper. How's your day been going? Let me flick that down. So, alright, got the pencil cleared out. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get back to working on this hair and stuff. Do some blending here, then we're going to add in some details on this. Really give this some life to it. See if we can, because it's still like right here I'd started to put in a little bit of darkening on this. So, but we're going to do a little bit more up here, and about here we're going to darken this out a little bit more, but I'm just kind of getting it smooth out to see where we have for our next level, the next layers. But a little bit of excitement. So, like I said, about 20 minutes behind, but had to get it done, had to get it resolved. Apparently there was an update that was pending and it was stuffed in it, so it wouldn't let it get totally process it through on the Streamlabs for the multi-stream. Pretty good, cleaned a bit and worked out. Got rid of the flies Tuesday, then 3 were back yesterday and 10 today. I don't know where they're. No maggots in a week. My parents are bad on them too. Nearby my property, everybody in the neighborhoods around where they cleared out an area nearby that where my house is at. And ever since they cleared that piece out, there's been people that are having problems with flies and worms and all sorts of junk. So they have to move somewhere. But anyway, let's see if we can get this cleaned up a little bit now, and then we'll start adding some more details in. I don't know if anywhere near me that was cleaned out. Maybe somewhere on the street behind me. No, well, I'm not real close to it, but the neighborhoods are getting them. It's just they're kind of migrating out and whatnot. So I don't know how close you are or not to me, but I know the neighborhoods all around me and everything. People I know that are in there, they're saying they're having the same type of similar issues. So, and it is, of course, the weather's changing up also. It was changing with everything, and of course some of the storms we had was bringing in some extra weather. Magnetic station closed a little while ago. Oh, okay. Well, you're not that far off from it. I don't. You're a little bit. You're definitely further away, but I know that we definitely had a. I saw an influx after they did a lot of clearing of that wooded area that's been there forever in a day like that. So we'll have to see what happens. Start getting some more depth in. Let's see. I hope it disappears soon for a good long while. Yeah, I think once it gets cold, it will. So, hey, hold on 1 second, guys. All right, sorry, I had a little mic issue. Should be back now. Now my girls are in the house. If you do hear them, you tell me so then they have to come and say hi and say they're sorry for interrupting the live stream. So, and I think they're cooking, so you might actually hear them this time around. So they're making something out there in the kitchen. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out. So, and we might have to place our bets to see who will falter first. I have a feeling it's going to be my wife. There we go. Keep your ears open. Maybe they're fixing you something special tonight. I don't know. They're definitely going to be. They're definitely fixing. I heard them talking about all sorts of sugary stuff. So we'll have to find. We'll find out. So maybe if they get it fixed. She loudest usually. No, but she's not usually the loudest, but she forgets sometimes. She gets into things and she forgets. It's not that she's loud. It's just. Tell you what though, maybe if it gets finished before the live stream's over and it came out well, I'll probably bring it back here and let you guys see what they were working on. I don't know what it is, but we'll see what it is. So. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit. I'm using an indigo blue here on some of the darkness on the hair. I kind of was going to give him more of a darker colored hair, and I think I still might blacken it out a little bit with a little bit of brown. So we'll have to see where it goes with it. But I think that I might actually do that. And I think I'm going to start bringing in some blues, kind of make it more match his eyebrows. Maybe bring a little bit of clay rose in. But this will help with some of the darker sections without it just being black. So it gives still a little bit of life to it. So let's run it this way. Put some darker sections up in here. solidify some of that. Darker coloring right in there. There we are. Grab the red pencil and see where we can go with this. Let's go ahead and grab that clay rose, see where we can go with that. That's the beige. I think it's on this strip. Yeah, clay rose. Let's see if we can. Yeah, let's go a little bit darker. You know what? We're going to give him his dark colored hair. I think we're going to work with that. Let's go to bring this color section up. Alright. Okay. We probably want to go clean off this. Let's give it a little bit of a. Do we want a warm gray? Yeah, I think we'll do a warm gray with his hair. Just to help hit some of the darker areas in it. Maybe we'll go to a, we'll do maybe a, do we want to do a 50 or a 70? Let's see what we can get. Let's see. How this comes out looking. Gave a little bit of that this side. I think it's periwinkle. No, this is blue slate. Just to give it a little bit more of a different color shine. Being we're going to go with a darker hair color now, because this brown's a little bit too light. So we do have some nice flaring and that nice light colors on this, but I think we're going to make this a little bit more darker. It'll help also with his with profiling his face as well. It'll help shape it and kind of portrait it himself with the darker, with the lighter skin tone like that. Like I'm doing right now is just kind of blending the colors in and seeing what type of rich colors we're getting out of this. So, and I'm just kind of blending it in the direction that I want the hair flow to go, so that way it can, as it strips or strings and strains along and it blends in, it'll kind of blend in the same striation, which will help keep with the same flow. A little bit of light coloring on the top there just to catch a little bit of the flare. Okay. Let's see if we can start just to darken it out a little bit and mute out that brown and get it more toward grayish black color. That way we can work him through. So you'll have little hints that it's a dark brown, almost blackish color here. So it'll give it more of a richer color to the brown, and it won't be so like it won't be as sandy. It'll be a much darker color to that. Maybe we'll go to a lighter color here. A lighter warm color, just for his little. This is going to kind of have like a little bit of a striation in here, kind of like a little bit of a lighter color. Almost like a gray. Hopefully we'll get it to work out right. Let's go back over here and see if we can I think that's going to definitely make it a little bit better with it darker like that. Throw a little bit of light here. Maybe go even to a little bit lighter, just so that way we still keep a little bit of that sunburst look. We'll run this a little bit of a light warm gray against this just to kind of, it doesn't look too bad. Now let's go ahead and run this down. This through. That's getting definitely a nice darker brown. We're not going for that jet black look. We're just looking for a real nice dark brown type hair color. Still might give it a little bit of just a tint. Not that much of a tint. Maybe a little less. Let's see. Close. Yeah, maybe there. That one might work. Hopefully we don't lose my colored pencils. Like I said, I gotta make a better system. There we go. Let's see. I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Maybe I'll. I thought maybe about a little bit of a purplish color. Let's see how that kind of dark purples actually work well also for some darker shadowing areas and whatnot. That actually helps out too. So we can put a little bit of a little bit of a twist to the darkness by having, without it being flat, by using a darker purple color with these grays. Push it in down at the bottom here. See what we can come up with. Got a little bit sticking out, a little over spots like that. Let's grab the blender and see what happens with it. Let's see what we can get. It's not too shabby. Just a couple little spots of the purple, just to help break up a little bit, make it not look so muddy. Alright, got that. Let's kind of work on some of the darker areas here. We're going to run just a couple of spots, and then we're going to go to a darker warm gray. This is just to kind of hit a couple of the middle areas, just so we can work it through here. And this blue kind of is a little bit too much here, so we're going to put a little bit of this purple in, just to kind of break that blue up towards it doesn't look so cold. Let me throw this up here. Let's see if we can make this hair look a little bit darker and flat. Are y'all going to see the fireworks on the 4th? I'm not. McGraw got so scared he hid between something in my bed. Couldn't find a private minutes despite having half an anxiety he gets twice a day. But told me this year give him a full one twice a day on the 4th and the day after. Wow. Now I don't know if we're going to go out or not. We usually don't, just because my previous work and stuff where I've been out there and stuff, some people get a little bit out of hand. So I'm just kind of used to laying low. It's not always that bad. We usually do fireworks in our neighborhood. We usually have some people that would like to do some real nice fireworks, and I can actually, from my house, I can actually see a lot of the fireworks show. So, but we'll probably light off some stuff and go from there. Should be nice though. Get this kind of tweaked out a bit. I understand there's always drunks. I can see quite a bit here too. Probably staying with McGraw. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of traffic, a lot of people, and having to deal with stuff. People trying to get around and seeing stuff and enjoying themselves, and it kind of becomes a fiasco. So you usually get everything we want set up and kind of enjoy ourselves at the house. And all right. Bump it back up. We're at 50%. I'm going to do a 70 now with a warm gray. Let me take off some of the excess. There we go. And now we're going to start working a little bit darker on the details in. Might start over here and just kind of, like I said, we're not trying to go for pitch black here, but we're looking for a nice dark brown here without it going to too black. So we're just kind of using it towards like that really close toward, not such a warm, so because we don't want it to, his outfit's going to have oranges and stuff. It's going to kind of match his ship that we got going on with him. Yeah, I don't like all that traffic myself. My parents, brother and nephew always go, so I don't go with them to avoid the traffic. Yeah, less stress. It's always nice when somebody else drives. Go. They then do fireworks at their house too. Exactly, yeah. Sometimes my neighbors just got such huge fireworks anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't have to do fireworks or even go look out. We can just see what everybody else is doing. They got some really neat stuff to do. Now we're getting that depth. Let's run this up here a little bit darker. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, my neighborhood's pretty cool in that part. Dim this out a little bit. Tone that down a tiny bit there too. Blend in nice where you can see just a hint, but we don't want it to be so overpowering. Neighborhood is awesome at Christmas and Halloween too. Yeah, they definitely bring out some of the really big gun stuff with that. There we go. Now let's bring it to the 90. Bring in some real nice dark lines on some of this. This will have some more there. See if we can get some nice darker areas on here too. Not so much for these two, so other than they do fireworks, yeah. There we go. There we go. Get some nice more detail lines on some of this. There we are. Okay. I think that looks pretty good for that. Let's give a little bit of a blend in this. See if we can. This will also help give a little bit more of that grittiness to this character. Okay. Take this and clean up some of that colored pencil that's spilt over. stick out here that kind of make it look a little fuzzy. There we go. Get rid of that fuzz. What we might do is we need to maybe work on some of the shadowing a little bit more. Let's see. Go. All right, got the big face working well, so let's hit the rest of this thing now. I was thinking maybe instead of color and pencil this, maybe I might actually hit this with do a little bit of marker with it as well. I haven't decided yet. Anywho, let's shoot over here and see if we can go to 0.2 here. See if we can get some more detail in on them. Have to do it on his suit, on his outfit here as well, so might as well work on the big outfit as well too. Nice clean line on this here. Get some of this picked up as well, so that way it'll drop the ink nicely on it without it getting caught up in this waxy buildup from the colored pencils. This one we might go to a bigger sized rendering marker or ink pen. I'm going to a 0.4 from the 0.2. Looks incredible. I'm heading out in the shower quick. I'll be back in a flash. All right, Brian, we'll see you in a few. Let's see what we got going on here. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Guess we could probably put a little more detail in here now. Something like that.
Right vocals, always on time vocals, my vocals, simply one of a kind vocals, the type to take you back in time vocals. And speaking on that, I'm about to tell my story. Get your mind, let me jump back. The boy was just 11, saw his greatest trauma come to life, but still he learned to see the blessing in disguise. Under pressure, learn to put your pride aside, cause navigating step parents is not an easy ride. That's advice I give to me back in my prime. 14, only songs I ever wrote were praising God. Wish I did it more, I got distracted when I wrote my first raps, and I found the braggadocious style gave me confidence I never got. Way back in Newman during class I would draw, create some comics for my friends around me, passion would fall on my heart as my crush walked past me in the hall. Scrawny boy athletic, but don't pass me the ball. I've got sports of my own, board skating at home, parkour, climbing walls, that's the skill I would hone. Guys only focus then and now is taking girls home, but I'll stick to being a gentleman, just write you a poem. Now let me show you what I can do.
Over here, grab some dark umber.
Money is a motivator, but it's not my plan to use it to compare you to me. I'd rather share you some knowledge so you'll make it happen. Working, you'll get there too. Test my flow, I dare you. Your raps sound like a parrot. Keep repeating stuff that don't mean nothing. Don't nobody care to put time and effort in. If they don't win some instant merit, who said you could defeat me? Better pray that God was fair. I'm the KOTAG. Yeah. This record's dedicated to everyone from Newman. Hope you guys are doing well. And if you're listening, just know that I'm thinking I appreciate you. I'll be coming back for no favors though. You feel me?
Some light umber here. getting some detail on them now. This is probably, like I said, going to be his flashback type outfit and garb. Won't be as final. His final won't be nearly as much detailed things. It's going to look a little more simplified. So this, I think, is going to be, I'm going to reserve this for special times for when we go. And let's his hair's not looking so weird now on the smaller part. It's starting to get a little bit better blends and stuff in it. We'll do a little bit more highlighting and work on that. Let's go ahead and work on this his ship. His ship's kind of looks pretty unique, so let's see what we want to come up with. What's this? Is this the warm gray I use earlier? That's warm gray. I think we want cool grays. Give this a hard surface type of a shine to it. The hard surface, we want to blend it nice and even, smooth, so that way it doesn't have to look so, it won't have to look so organic. So we kind of want to have that nice solid shine. Some light blending here. I don't know if I like that. I think I still might do some. I might do a little bit of watercolor over the top of that, or maybe some alcohol marker. I think I might do that. I might do some alcohol marker on this. So this guy, we can blend this in around. Looks a little bit smoother that way. Start to blend this out nicely. Get a nice rich, some nice strong contrast that we're going to try and work on. Maybe we'll hit this. Go ahead and just get this guy blended and see where we're at. Do a light blending, we're not going to burnish it yet. And if you like what you see, by all means hit the like and subscribe button. So we can see some more of this stuff. Get you some notifications turned on, that way when I go live or when I post something, you'll be able to see it. Looks a little better. Yeah, I think we might actually add in some rendering marker onto this ship just to give a separation from the characters. Gotten a nice little smoothness to it. We'll work in some hard surface looks on pieces on this. We might actually use some rendering markers and stuff, or some ink on top of it, just to kind of add in a couple extra details and flares to it. Might even use a little bit of paint, just to get the effect that we're looking for. What I need to do is I need to come up with a couple concepts, but I haven't finalized anything out yet, for a space engineer and for a mechanic. So I got a whole lot more characters that I gotta play through. Might actually, maybe we'll start on one of them. Back, you looking amazing. Even more characters. Yeah, I got a laundry list of them that I got to work on and kind of bring in. So I got to come up with a couple of good antagonists. Laid out the villains and some antagonists in the storyline as well. So I'm gonna have to bend outside of my my comfort zone. I usually don't do too much dark stuff, but I want to kind of get a good villain. In order to do that, you're gonna have to work on that a little bit. Can't make him look too cute and fluffy for if he's gonna be a villain, unless it's supposed to be humorous like that. So, of course, that'd be sort of like the medieval days where they did a lot of paintings and such with. There you go. Where they had like rabbits decapitating people. It's kind of funny that, was it Monty Python? They had that in there, the killer rabbit that was in there, but they actually took a cue from actual medieval art and manuscripts and stuff, where they actually had that, where it showed they had like depictions of this rabbits actually killing them. It's kind of funny. So we all thought they had a pretty good gas with it, but they were actually doing some actual real fact that was actually in these old books. Kind of funny that way. So I don't know what was more funnier, the fact that they actually used that, or the fact that it was actually there. So I guess they might, even back in the day, had that type of sense of humor. At least there had to have been some. I couldn't think that we'd be the ones that would have just created it. I'd be kind of curious to see what type of humor, or what would be considered humor, back then, back in ancient times, what they would consider as humorous, or what would be the funny puns, or the kind of makes you wonder. Stuff that we look at today is definitely a lot differently than what they looked at, so they might actually have that type of interesting humor to it. Definitely brings in that little bit of notice that you go, should not. But it's my readings and stuff and my research that I do on all sorts of different art and art history. That was one of those things that I thought was kind of made me wonder. Because you find all sorts of pieces and stuff on there that obviously was kind of had some humor to it. Let's clean up some of this stuff. Some of these. There we go. But, you know, like I said, I find it humorous that they had certain things like that, but that, like, it raised a good question. You know, what was funny back then? What would be jokes? You know, would we find them funny now, or, you know, is it kind of a different society that would be like, kind of cringe on it? So, especially nowadays, I mean, you can't be humorous about practically anything nowadays. You can, but you got to be really. Yeah, I guess some people got to be pun pins and toes on it, because you'll get people. Somebody will get offended by it, but that's sort of the thing. You can't please everybody. Yeah, no, you offend someone. Yeah, but it kind of piques my curiosity. Wonder what was the funny back then. What they considered comedy, because I mean, they have in medieval times there being art pieces and stuff in books and piece that has it where they're, you know, like I said, there's the rabbits decapitating everybody like you would see in Monty Python. I mean, it wasn't like, yeah, songs are such a fun people now. And well, that's the funny thing about that, because it's all visual art. Everything that we look at now is so much more visual than what was even back then. But what's funny is the majority of stuff that's visual art that's out here right now is just the biggest majority of visual art in the world is actually surveillance, like cameras. I mean, that is the largest number of imagery and stuff that's out there, but we don't really have any much concern for it, because it's sort of like into the system. The next set is actually would be medical or science, you know, images or visual representation stuff. So actually stuff like this is much less, you know, compared to others. So it's like a different cultural piece, an area on it. So kind of leads me to wonder just what was considered, what was important, what was funny, what wasn't back then. What was faux pas to say? So, gives some interesting visual appeal. Let's bring this up. I think that looks a lot better with that. I think that needs to be there. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see, we can darken this area out a little bit. I think if we blacken this area out, this will really start to provide some good contrasting pop to things. And then we're going to darken these guys out, because these guys are going to be just barely visible or lit in. So we want this to look like it's almost like a giant. I kind of wanted to make it look like a giant mouth, like almost it was so menacing that if it was coming at you, it'd want to eat you. Type of deal. Even though she may not be the biggest ship in the fleet. Oops. I was cleaning it and I went and nipped the tip. There we go. But it's so interesting. I know back in the day, a lot of stuff, fine art was considered very valuable, but now it kind of has a blend of that type of culture. Fine art still has its place, but it's not like it shows a more value like a piece of fine art versus a photograph, because it goes with technology, which is another cool and interesting piece to there too. So little ideas and neat little thoughts, things that go running through my head, things I ponder and wonder about. I do like the idea that when you create something, it's usually you want to create it for a reason. There's always a reason for creation of it, and that's the cool part. You know, hopefully it's not always just to make money, but it's more to create part of it, to be able to express something, whether it be social, a type of culture, a type of personal section to it. That's sort of like the pictures we take, the family pictures and stuff. That's more of a personal nature, so we have a value to them that way, that type of meaning. It's kind of interesting delving into the whole thought process of just what is art culture. If you think about it, there's some people that would not look twice at an art piece, like, a priceless art piece that's like in a museum, versus say an art piece they would find more value. Some people would find more value in getting an art piece from Jim Lee, from the Batman or something like that, where it has his signature on it and whatnot. It's interesting on the concept of value, or people who love music to have a photograph of their favorite musician with a picture with their signature next to it. They'd find that the same value of what a piece of fine art would be. And that's kind of sort of one of the different social cues now that we have nowadays. Tell you what, though, I might cut out a little bit early, kind of between try and get this mess cleaned up, trying to get this thing up and running tonight. I think we might do that. See if I can get the rest of this cleaned up, make sure it's all squared away for next week. So let's take a peek here and see what we got. I do like how that's starting to come together a little bit better. So, yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll call it an evening. Alright guys, well, I apologize for the technical difficulties earlier and late start on it, but thank you for hanging out with me, for the ones who did. And I put out the little video and stuff, so I didn't expect to get many people back on here and whatnot that would be on the list of things, because I said we're having technical difficulties and this might not have worked out, but we at least got it back up and running. So anyway, I hope you guys have yourself a great day. No problem. Have a great night. Catch you on Tuesday. Thank you, Brian. You'll see you on Tuesday too. But everybody else and everyone, including you, Brian, have yourself a great night, a great weekend. God bless, and don't forget, let's create something together. Let's see. Tuesday is is 4th of July, so maybe we'll do something special for 4th of July. Maybe we'll do that. I'll see what I can come up with a weekend. If you guys think of a neat idea that might be neat for 4th of July for a Tuesday night, maybe we'll do that as well. But anyway, have a great night. God bless, and don't forget, let's create something.